And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, rock cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and we're in the Mighty 1090 studio with Captain Brandon Hayward from the Bight Journal and One Man Charters. Happy New Year, everybody. Our first show of the year, 2017, going to be a great year. And what a way to start with Captain Hayward. You stay tuned. This is Southern California's sport fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. This time of year, the fishing offshore is hit and miss. Some days you struggle, the other days you come home with your limit of yellowfin. Believe me, you never know. But unlike the unpredictability of fishing, you can always count on Ford F-Series pickups. America's best-selling trucks, 39 years and counting. One reason F-150 is so popular with fishermen is the high-strength military-grade aluminum body panels. Chevy, Dodge, and Toyota bodies will all eventually rust, but not F-150. Its body panels won't rust ever. That's pretty important for folks like us that launch boats on a regular basis. And F-150's revolutionary body is bolted to a solid steel frame to make it stronger, more capable, and more efficient than ever. When it comes to trucks, fishermen and fisherwomen can always rely on Ford. And right now is a great time to buy. Special incentives have just been announced. That means bigger savings and lower payments on F-150. Log on to their new website, buyfordnow.com, for all the details. That's buyfordnow.com. Then stop by your nearest San Diego County Ford dealer. They'll be glad to hook you up. Pete here. I was fortunate enough to use the new Simrad NSS Evo 2 touchscreen chart plotter and sonar unit on my boat this summer and fall. And let me say, it's truly incredible. With an easy-to-use tablet-style interface that's fresh but familiar, the new Simrad NSS Evo 2 combines a multi-touch screen with push-to-select rotary dial for precision control and speedy response. As for marking schools of tuna, yellowtail, and more, it's the best. You run over a school, and there they are in full color and high definition. The new NSS Evo 2 built-in sonar technology, including chirp and structure scan, can't be beat. I recently added the Simrad AP24 autopilot to my system. I've had other autopilots before, but I can tell you this one is simple, sensitive, and accurate. It integrates with my Simrad NSS Evo 2. I set a waypoint, touch the screen, and the boat steers to that spot. There's a lot more to the new Simrad NSS Evo 2 system and AP24 autopilot I'd like to tell you, but best just go to your local Simrad dealer or see simrad-yachting.com for more details.
If you are looking for a powerful, smooth, great casting reel at an affordable price, check out the Shimano Torium HG. It's up to 30% smaller than the previous generation, but still has the same line capacity. The smaller S-compact body design and one-piece die-cast aluminum frame provides more rigidity and lighter weight. Torium now has EI surface treatment and is tested up to 700 times the corrosion resistance of past models. The Shimano Torium HG is not only better on the outside, the inside is amazing, with a cross-carbon drag providing up to 24 pounds of drag pressure from a star drag reel. It has a sealed roller clutch and 6.2 to 1 brass gears. The machined aluminum handle has a larger knob to make it easy to crank in the big fish. The new lightweight aluminum spool gives you better casting and control. Available in 3 sizes, the Torium HD is the next evolution in compact, rigid, and powerful saltwater star drag reels. Get it now at your local Shimano dealer.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Going to be a fun show today, man.
Yeah,
starting off the New Year's right.
You bet. Happy New Year, everybody. And Captain Brandon Hayward, great to have you in the studio.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back.
Hard to wrestle you down into a studio. You're usually on the water.
Yeah, like welcome being home for a Saturday, so thanks for that.
Yeah. Family
Forced
probably
day
happy
off,
too, right?
Yeah, it was good. Like I told you, we went on a little family getaway and went to the desert for a few days, so back on the boat this afternoon and keep enjoying the winter.
Yeah. And what are you doing?
Lobster.
Lobster,
Catalina
something.
lobster. Probably poke around local and try for a halibut or something, then go to the island and fish for lobster.
Yeah.
That's kind of my winter sauce, you know. I do quite a few of those trips. They're really popular, and I'm really fortunate to have that winter run, because without that, I don't know what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
How's the lobstering been this year at Catalina?
I would say, you know, when you view it through kind of the lens of the last 3 years, it's been slower than the El Nino years. Just because, you know, for 2 years, you went with me, both you guys, you know, like, it was just wide open out on some, like, deep water stones that straight up I know no one else was hitting, you know?
Literally wide open.
Literally wide open.
Wide open.
Yeah, literally. Like, limits the first set. So, you still can get limits most trips. It's just how bad you want it. Some nights you get it by 10, you're going home and laughing, and some nights you got to kind of grind through it and go for it. So, I've had limits. I've had 4 trips that haven't got limits. They've been pretty close, most of them. And if you had put in the extra time, I'm sure you could have kind of got there, you know? So it's still good. I mean, where else in Southern California can you go on a trip and catch 20 to 35 lobsters per trip? Nowhere.
I don't think there's anywhere you can nonchalantly talk about fishing that good. Like, oh, yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. And we had a couple where we didn't get as many as we were allowed to take. Yeah.
But it's like anything in fishing. Guys who came out with me 2 years before, you know, you do the first set and you have 8, and they're like, wow, this is slow. So people get spoiled.
That's cool, though.
They're like gold nuggets, man. They're a valuable commodity these days.
When you start doing the math, I had a trip in early December. It was really good. It was good quality in a zone where usually you don't get as many, but they're bigger. You know, they're honest to goodness, you know, 2.5 pound average. So the guys had their 28, and we weighed them at the fuel dock, which I've never done before, but they're just so big and so nice. And we had a big yellow in the morning, so 71 pounds for 28 lobsters. Do the math. Do the math.
Yeah.
Go into Point Loma Seafood and say, hey, I want to get 71 pounds of lobster Monday morning, and see how much it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's one of the... It
pays for the ride, that's for sure.
Sure does, and then some, yeah. Yeah.
The other stuff's all bonus.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what about everybody...
Close to $1,500 worth of lobsters?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
What about sea bass? Everybody kind of probably calling you up, hey, those sea bass biting yet, Brandon?
Right. Well, I had a good little fall snap on those things in, like, November and even into early December. And I hadn't seen that since 2013, like a traditional fall on sea bass. Not that they weren't around and other people weren't getting them. I just didn't put in the time, and it wasn't for me, you know? So I really liked what I saw this fall in terms of action on those things. Yeah. So, and like everyone else, I keep selling myself on that this winter Catalina is going to kind of get with it per, 2 decades ago when it was a wintertime thing. At the end of the day, that fish is still like a spring, early summer fish more than a winter fish, right? So I have high hopes for sea bass, and I mean, straight up, it's going to be better than it was the last 2 years. They're one of the few things that doesn't benefit from El Nino is sea bass, even though I really enjoyed that El Nino style of sea bass fishing, no squid and kind of fishing by yourself and all that type of stuff. So I will go ahead and say that this year will be a much better sea bass season for sure.
Typically, you start booking trips when for sea bass?
That's a good question. In years past, I used to wave people off when they would be like, I want to do a March trip or I want to do an April trip. Because, remember La Nina, it was like May, June, and like July was the month. August was the month, right? The last 2 years, my best month has been April in terms of like size of fish, like the best shot at the 60s. I think that was a byproduct of El Nino because I'd go out in April and we'd have 64-degree water, right? Really interesting. So with all that being said, I'm going to start running in March this year.
Okay.
And I've already got, a good number of trips in the books for March. And I really think that Catalina thing is going to kind of come back around based on what we saw last year. Last year was the best season Catalina had on sea bass in 10-plus years. It's just it wasn't getting as much attention because of the offshore bluefin and everything.
Sure, I can see that.
Yeah, you'd go over there in June, and it was great fishing, and there was just kind of not a lot of people there.
Mm-hmm.
So, all things being equal, I think it's going to be good this year. I think it's going to be kind of like an earlier time frame kind of getting with it in terms of the island and local, and therefore I'm going to start doing my sea bass thing after Long Beach.
Wow.
With that said, February, those lobster trips, more than half of the trips that I run kind of from here on out are like a combo, like sea bass / lobster. So we try for both.
All right.
And we've caught both before in the winter. It's not like you're going to go catch 9 sea bass and 35 lobster, but there's always the potential to catch something exotic and get your lobsters.
What about squid availability?
Squid, I think that, there's more squid showing up in little dabs than there has been in the last couple of years because the water's cooler and we're coming off of this hot water event, With that said, a lot of the squid guys aren't even out right now just because what was around is kind of dried up. But there's been shots, kind of in multiple locations. And I think it's, if the water's 57 to 59 degrees, you're going to have squid in the winter. You better, right?
Got it.
So there's more of that around. Kelp is coming back in earnest. Haven't seen any kelp really on the front side of Catalina like you're used to. But on the beach, just drive down the freeway, and there's bald spots, and I'm sure you see it in Point Loma,
Yeah.
So that's really neat to see. It's also kind of trippy driving around, too, where I try to drive over spots where I've caught sea bass the last 2 years, and it's just covered up in kelp again. So it's just a matter of readjusting and just opening up the 2010 to 2013 book.
Yeah, exactly.
So everything changes. There's no normal.
No. What's the deal with all this red crab? I thought that was an El Nino thing.
That's super surprising.
Yeah. It is everywhere. I was out the islands yesterday, and it was everywhere, and every fish we caught was just spitting up red crab. And it's it's cold.
Yeah.
It's
not supposed to be here.
No.
Right. I always say this is one of the few things that I kind of repeat is that what's going on now. Rick or I couldn't go to the oldest of old timers, guys 40 years older than us, and be like, hey, what happened last time it was like this? Because this is unprecedented stuff, right? So it's just hard to say what's it going to be like or why, because there's nothing on record. Even if you go into the tuna club and look around, you never see pictures of wahoo. You see big bluefin, you never see wahoo. So we're just in a really interesting time period. So I don't, I don't know. That stuff shoves up here, and it can't move and migrate like a sardine or some sort of finfish. So maybe it's just kind of stuck in our little kind of Bight, and that California current, and just kind of the Coriolis effect just has it whirling and whirling and whirling in our little Bight here.
Yeah, I like that explanation.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's a good one, for sure. Maybe that would be a future article for the Bight Journal. Just somebody that would study red crab.
Just a riff on red crabs. No one knows how long they live. Or we know, quote, everything about squid, but we know nothing about that. Yeah. Zero commercial value. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah. It would be a good one for sure. Speaking of the Bight Journal, new issue coming out via Fred Hall, Long Beach, right?
Yep, it's at the printer right now.
Exciting.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So we
clue us in on some of the stuff that we can look forward to.
Well, it's always a surprise. I don't want to reveal nothing.
Okay.
Because it's
all right, fine.
Because it's always a surprise, and we're a biannual, right? Mm-hmm. So we only come out 2 times a year, and have this kind of infrequent print schedule. So I'm real susceptible to kind of getting swooped.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
So. Not that I even worry about that, but
clearly not.
Yeah, right, exactly, exactly. But our sauce is just to kind of do things that haven't been done before, or do them in a way that hasn't been done. And given our kind of edit well, and the fact that there's 80+ pages of no ads and just straight edit, you can just kind of literally go off and do anything you want to do. So interesting Q&As. And I like to blend kind of recreational and commercial, so there's kind of some exploration into commercial fishing and that end of things. So same deal, really good photography. And I will say this, the artist that we profile in this issue is so blackout and so outside of the realm of what you'd see in, quote, a normal fishing magazine. Not that there's a lot of artist profiles, but it's definitely next level, and it's really, really, really good.
Cool.
That's my favorite.
Awesome, yeah. Right on.
Yeah, some of the artist profiles you've done in the past, or all of them really, just amazing, unique, incredible. In fact, one of the artists you profiled, my brother-in-law is big into hogfish.
Oh, Amadeo.
Picture that hogfish. The guy's amazing. He's got it in his office. It's an amazing, different look at an art thing.
That's just one of those things that we borrowed from Surfer's Journal.
Yeah. And
no kind of West Coast publications, and not a lot of publications in general were doing artist profiles. Now you kind of see it more, and it's kind of cutesy, which is whatever. But art is a huge part of the Southern California fishing culture, and most hardcore fishermen have a piece of art or something. So since there hasn't been a platform to showcase this before, it's the perfect platform to do so.
Hewlett at least got a cool article in this one.
What did Hewlett do? Oh, Hewlett.
You don't have to say. I just want to know if he's always my favorite one. That's always my favorite one.
Well, he's the best writer we have, and he's he's an editor's editor, right? So yeah, he's got a back of the book piece.
All right.
He went down to La Paz, and it's not even it's not even about the destination so much as about like getting there, right? And it's just top tier writing, and it's really good. So he's got a 4-page chunk in the back, and he's a real Baja rat.
That's cool.
So,
yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah,
fun. So 2 projects that Brandon Hayward does, of course, one-man charters, which really has morphed into more than one-man charters.
I thought
more
about
like 3-man charters.
Right. I thought about rebranding and coming up with a different name, but I started with that, and I kind of like my cheesy business name.
Yeah, what's wrong
with
that?
Yeah, I have 2 boats now, and I have a cool little stable of guys who run the center console for me on the Dana Point and the Parker, and that could end up growing in the future as demand, So I just you can't run every trip, and you can't keep up with it, and so you need other people to help you out. So I'm super fortunate. James Legge. He's kind of my right-hand man. He's a firefighter by trade, so he's, open 20 days a month, but he's not open every day. So he runs trips, and Gavin from the Pacific Queen, he started running trips for me this year.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's at Colonette now, and he loves lobstering, and he worked deck with one of my best buddies who's a commercial lobster guy by trade. So it was just kind of a natural fit.
Wow, I would say.
And they've been doing a really good job.
Yeah, fantastic. So how do you know which boat to take people on, whether you take the Parker?
Availability.
You have a 23-foot Parker.
I have a 23 that I still have. Yeah, that's the best boat for my program.
Yeah, totally.
Best boat. Is
such a comfortable
boat. It's perfect. We just dare I call it a bunk in there. We ripped out the bench seat and put a 6'3" kind of oversized bunk in there with a huge cavernous opening for all the bags to go in. So just trying to make the most space, because at the end of the day, it's still a 23-foot boat, right? So I have that, and then I have a center console, too, a Maritime, which I own with a partner who also owns a charter business in Dana Point. We switch off days on it, so it works out really well there. So that's kind of, I'll call it's my overflow boat, because no matter how much you tell people, book now or else you're not going to get on, book now, people want to wait till the fish are biting, right? It's like the 5th card in poker. They want to see it and then commit. Unfortunately, with my program, by the time they see it, most people have already committed, So I have the center console for that. And I like running that boat as well sometimes, too. So it just really is based on availability.
So those are more like your day trips?
Day runner, or night, one evening lobster, whereas on the Parker I'll do 2-day trips and kind of push it. And the center console is less money because it costs less money to run.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. As you can hear, a great show. Wealth of knowledge here with Brandon. You can talk to him about lobster fishing, sea bass fishing, tuna fishing, whatever kind of fishing.
Yeah.
This man does it.
We're going to be having lots of fun talking all kinds of fishing, from bugs to sea bass to tuna and everything in between. Going to be a great show today, and we would love to hear from you. If you want to be a part of Let's Talk Hookup this morning, there's 2 ways that you can reach us, and the best one right now is our local line. It's open right now at 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. That's our local line. Or you can reach us toll-free. That toll-free number, 877-792-1090. Again, 877-792-1090. Not only going to be talking fishing, taking your phone calls, talking the Bight Journal, and all kinds of great fishing, we've got a great couple of prizes for one lucky caller at the end of the show today. First of which is a $100 gift certificate from M&M Custom Rods in San Diego. You're going to get $100 towards building a complete custom rod. Very cool. And a 3-quarter-day trip to go fishing aboard the San Diego out of C4 sport fishing. You got a custom rod coming your way. You got a trip coming your way. Very, very cool opportunity for one lucky caller at the end of the show today. Again, if you want to get your shot, 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. When we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls. Lots of great information coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Fisherman's Landing is the top choice in local and long-range fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern. Our hardworking crew is always looking for ways to improve your fishing experience. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. We are proud to say Fisherman's Landing is now a full-service sport fishing operation, offering half-day trips on the Dolphin, and now, for the first time in the long history of Fisherman's Landing, we have 3-quarter-day
open party trips on the Liberty. We built the Liberty specifically to offer a better experience. Run by veteran captain Taro Takeuchi, the 85-foot Liberty is the first open party 3/4 day boat to offer bunks for your comfort. She also has huge bait capacity and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Plus, Liberty has a big galley and 2 interior heads with showers. Our open party trips from half day, 3/4 day, or 1 to 3 day trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Hey, the Los Angeles Boat Show has moved to a new location. It's now at the Fairplex in Pomona, conveniently reached by all points of Southern California. It's coming up January 19th to the 22nd. You can see the latest models of marine gear, the newest models of boats, tech gadget, accessories. It's all there. There's going to be great things for the kids like face painting and more. And it's Thursday and Friday at noon to 9 p.m., Saturday at 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. So it's good long hours there. And Sunday, 10 to 6. Admission's just $15 and lots of discounts. Check it out at the Fairplex in Pomona, January 19th to the 22nd. The LA Boat Show.
Great boats, free parking, and a fully stocked tackle shop. Just a few of the reasons Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top charter boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Eclipse, Apollo, Outer Limits, Pacific Star, El Gato Dos, Alexis, Pride, Privateer, Tribute, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch in San Diego offer the finest half, 3/4, and full-day trips available. Check out the full-service tackle store at Seaforth Sport Fishing. And it's all run by fishermen for fishermen. 1717 Quivira Road, just off Mission Bay Drive in Mission Bay. Book online at seaforthlanding.com.
This is Greg Stotesbury from AFCO. For more than 58 years, the American Fishing Tackle Company has been recognized as the premier manufacturer of precision-built offshore fishing tackle. AFCO continues this tradition today with an innovative technical fishing clothing line designed and built by fishermen for fishermen. From our next-generation waterproof shorts like Tactical or Stealth to our new anhydrous waterproof jacket and bibs, the entire AFCO clothing line is purpose-built with the latest AFTEC fabrics and features designed to deliver for the demanding angler. To find AFCO products, go to AFCO.com and find a dealer near you.
You've heard all about it. You know the angler's catching fish habit, so what's holding you back? It's a fact. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish-finding service with a spotter plane along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. You can get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com is for everyone, whether you have your own boat, fish on your friend's boat, or a sport boat. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. So bottom line is, if you don't have FishDope.com, well, you're probably missing a lot of bites. Membership costs less than $50 of gas, and that's for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, use the special code to save $20 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Phone lines are packing up again. If you want to get through, have your chance to talk to Brandon Hayward and have your chance of winning that $100 gift certificate to M&M Custom Rods and a 3/4 day trip aboard the San Diego out of C4 Sport Fishing. The best number, 858 area code 457-1090.
All right, let's jump into those phones, Rick.
You got it. Let's start it off this morning with Don calling us from Woodland Hills. Good morning, Don. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, guys, and Happy New Year to all of you.
Happy New Year
to you, Don.
Hey, Brandon, with you on Let's Talk Hookup today, I just had to call in. For the listeners out there, Brandon's operation is in my book, just the best small boat skiff operation you can hook up into. Went out this week with Captain James, had a blast, met two new anglers. Went to Catalina, went hooping, saw all kinds of different weather, and we caught some very, very nice-sized lobster. So,
Sweet.
Brandon, I just want to thank you for your operation, and I appreciate you and the Bight Journal, and love fishing with you because it's an education. I can learn as much as I want, as little as I want, and I like to learn a lot, and I do. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you for being a part of it. I'm glad you could get out, and I'm glad it worked out. That weather was kind of mixed up compared to how it was forecasted to be. So I'm glad it worked out in the end.
It was flat calm heading out, and we got some rain, but you know what? That's just what goes with the sport that we love.
That's it. That's it.
Part of the fun. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Thanks for getting us started, and Happy New Year to you, Don. That does free up 877-792-1090. Open right now. Before we proceed into another phone call here, I want to mention that I talked to Bill, who's one of the engineers in charge of the Shelter Island launch pad.
Oh,
so
cool.
I have an update
Yeah, what's the update?
on the Shelter Island launch pad. Well, they're delayed. Why? City project? The port project? Delayed?
So it hasn't started yet, but it's delayed.
Yeah. So they just put out for bids, and all bids must be submitted by January 31st, and then they're going to have the recommended contractor by March 14th. Construction likely will not start now until they said at the end of March, but more like April is what Bill was saying. It's most likely. So
June,
no
things should
construction
start getting kicked off.
Considered until about April. So yeah,
okay.
Maybe June. So anyway, in the meantime, the public launch ramp at Glorietta Bay. Now this is good timing here. Glorietta Bay is going under some reconstruction in April and May of 2017. So Glorietta Bay will be also shut down.
Okay.
As well as Shelter Island. So that means you have to go to South Bay. Which is a beautiful launch ramp.
Yeah, that's a really nice facility.
Yeah, or go to Mission Bay.
Sure.
Better yet, just go to Dana Landing.
That's
probably a lot easier. However, so the good news is for those of you that want to continue to launch in Shelter Island, it'll still be available probably until at least mid-April is my guess. So
sweet.
And I'll keep you posted.
That's awesome, man. I think it's so cool to get those updates.
There. And you know what's great is the people that work for the port and Bill and stuff like that are so good at communication. They've really done a good job with communicating with the public and communicating with me to get that information to the public. And they put that online. You can see the rendering of the new what they're going to do, which is going to be great.
Yeah, I think so too.
Finished, yeah. But I want to thank the people at the port for putting that all together for us.
Nice. Cool. Right on. Well, let's jump right back into the phones. You're definitely packed up. We're going to next talk to Kevin, calling us from Del Mar this morning. Hi, Kevin. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, Rick, Pete, and Brandon. I want to wish you guys a great 2017, and may we all have excellent fishing. And I just wanted to say that Brandon is an outstanding single charter, and I've had some wonderful lobstering trips, wonderful sea bass trips, and just can't say enough about his business and operation as well as the magazine, The Bight.
Nice.
All those 50s I mailed out to customers, it's really coming in handy here. Happy New Year. I appreciate that. I love having you and the boys out. Same with Don and everyone. And I've done I've had one-man charters for 6 seasons now. 6 seasons. Time goes by fast.
That's crazy.
So, yeah. So,
I just want to thank you for being part of that charters, and you have a great year as well.
I appreciate that. And, when you do something for a while, you kind of build up this role of good repeat customers and clients. And it's the greatest job ever when the guys coming on the boat make you feel like you're going fishing with your buddies, right? So that's how it is with Kevin with a lot of my groups, and they book way, way, way in advance. Kevin and his buds are always going to come out, 3 or 4 or 5 times for lobster during the course of the season. Nice. So it's really nice. I like him. Super. It was a lot of hard work to get there, but now it's nice just knowing that you know who's coming on the boat and you're kind of booked up for the prior season already.
Perfect. Cool. Hey, Kevin, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. That does free up 858-457-1090. Open right now. Let's talk about somebody that wants to do a lobster trip. First of all, for the rest of the season, you have any availability?
I think I have like a spot or 2 in March. Otherwise, there's always something available between the 2 boats, and the same with sea bass and everything. There's always a way, right?
Yeah.
So we do 2 types of trips. We do open party trips where we piece together. For lobster, we take 4. For fishing, I take 3. So I have some of that stuff up. Gavin's running most of those, or James, and I'm running one of the March trips, I think. Might be full. I got to look on my calendar. But essentially, if you want to book a trip, my website is onemancharters.com. I'd say that 95+% of charters start out with an email. But at the end of the day, the easiest thing to do is to just call and talk for 5 minutes and see what it is you want to kind of achieve and do, because we can always kind of pull strings and do whatever it takes to kind of like create a trip that fits the narrative of the people, what they want to do, whether it's fishing a lobster or just lobster, going on the island and having dinner, or spending the night in a hotel on the island, whatever. So give me a call on my cell or go through the website. And I just, like I said 10 minutes ago, like people don't always want to book in advance, but you really have to book in advance and book early to get prime stuff.
Whether it be lobster, sea bass, tuna,
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you wait till Rock Cod Rick's catching 200-pounders before you try to book a trip, it's too late.
Yeah.
I remember you were, I think I saw on your Facebook or Instagram, one of those things you were talking about, like a cool combo, stay on the island, eat food.
Yes.
It was like, explain that, because I remember reading that thing, and what a cool, overall experience that was.
Right. Okay. To my mind, the winter Catalina trip, like you said, it's an experience, right? I mean, the goal is to catch lobsters, and it's all about, producing and coming home with stuff. But to my mind, the fun trip is like experiencing the island, and especially this time of the year. It's such a cool time of the year to be over there. So I teamed up with Caleb. He owns the Lobster Trap, and he has several businesses on the island, including the Seacrest Inn. So guys can stay in the hotel that night, and built into their kind of package is the hotel room, dinner at the Lobster Trap. We bring the lobsters in for dinner, or a lunch the next day, or an early lunch, or whatever kind of fits. And so that's kind of a all-encompassing type trip, and it's great for like couples or
that's what
kids or any of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
How fun is that?
Catalina is just an incredible place, and it's surprising. A lot of guys, especially guys from San Diego, they're like, I've never stepped foot on the island. And
it's amazing to me to think how many people I talk to that go, oh, yeah, I've never been there. I need to go there. It's like, wait a minute, you grew up in Southern California. Come on.
I fished there, but I've never been there. Yeah,
Right.
I know, you're right, all the time.
Yeah. So, I mean, to my mind, when you go there, you could be anywhere. You could be in, like, Monaco or the French Riviera or something. Because it's so beautiful and so Mediterranean. There's so much history to that island. Huge, huge, huge slice of California history there. So that's one of the types of trips that I offer.
You go over, throw your stuff in the hotel, get settled in, go out, hopefully go catch a bunch of lobsters, and either get done early and come back and have them for dinner that night, and then go rack out at the hotel, or hoop all night, get a mega score, hopefully, then come back and stay in a hotel and have a nice shower and relax in the morning, and then eat a rad lobster lunch at the lobster trap next day.
If there's 4 guys and it's 2 guys and their wives or whatever, you can go catch what you catch until dinner time. Pull your gear in, go eat dinner, and then if only two of the guys want to go back out, or just one or whatever, so it breaks it up really nice. And then the next morning you can fish or do whatever it is you want to do. One of my flaws is like I try to build trips that are like a little bit too hardcore, not hardcore, but it's just a lot. It's a lot to spend 20 hours on a 23-foot boat, especially you've got me, a second captain, and 3 guys, and is what it is. So it kind of like breaks that up a little bit, and it's better for everybody. Yeah. Yeah, that's a neat trip.
Hey, here's a guy that you need to book early for. Down in the East Cape, Mark Rayer, Gen Ren Sport Fishing. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning. I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
And I also want to thank Brandon for the Bight. We have every issue that he's published in the salon of all 3 of our cruisers, and our anglers really enjoy reading it. It's just a quality publication, and thank you for that. It's something special.
No, thank you. I appreciate you putting them on there.
Yeah, and you're talking about being down in the East Cape, catching fish, and then you want to get out of the heat. You go into that air-conditioned salon or that 35 Cabo and pick up a Bight journal and read it. It's
recipe for a nap.
Are you kidding me, man?
That sounds just fine.
Recipe for a nap. Oh, yeah.
Get that going. Perfect.
Yeah, I guess it's a little different than those 23-hour trips on a 20-hour trips on a 23-foot.
Slight difference.
Similar, but
similar, but almost the same.
Yeah.
So what's going on down the East Cape right now, Mark?
Well, Brandon made a statement that really struck home with me, and he said there is no normal anymore, and that's absolutely the case here. We have all our boats out of the water. We're heavy into maintenance, unfortunately, because the bite at La Ribera is unbelievable right now. There's been a huge amount of greenback mackerel show up, and they're jigging up the mackerel and just putting them right back down and catching striped marlin, a really, really good marlin bite. And they're also catching yellowfin tuna up to 50 pounds, just drifting the greenbacks after you jig them up.
In the middle of the winter.
No kidding. Great. That's rad.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't recall ever catching yellowfin. I've lived here for 26 years, and I don't recall ever catching yellowfin in January. I do recall in the mid-'90s, we had a really good yellowfin bite doing the same thing in the same location in March. And when I talk to the old-timers around here, nobody remembers that. And I know I didn't dream it. We had a really good yellowfin bite for like the month of March, in the 90s. And so it seems to me like what goes around is coming around. We've had a couple tough years with the El Nino. We've managed to scratch them out, but my God, to have this good of fishing in January, it looks like it could be a stellar year.
And I would imagine with all these storms and the pattern that we're in up here, you're having some pretty good weather abnormally, huh?
Well, it's really the weather's really strange. We're getting our days of wind like we normally do. It's our windy time of the year, but the temperature is much warmer than normal. Normally this time of year, I'm wearing Ugg boots and a sweatshirt, and I'm sleeping with my door open. I'm not worried about getting up in the middle of the night to put my feet on the cold tile floor to go to the bathroom. I mean, it's just warm. I've got wood all stacked up. We're not burning wood on our fireplace because it's not cold. It's just not cold, which is not typical for this time of year. Usually it's pretty cold around here. People think of Mexico as being very tropical, but we have a winter just like everybody else, but not so much this year. It's been pretty nice so far, and the way that I see it, we're more than halfway out of the woods already because it's from November to the end of February that we really have the cold streak and the windy season, and now we're already 2 months into that, and it hasn't got cold yet. So I'm hoping I don't have to get my Ugg boots out this year.
There you go. All right, Mark. Well, if somebody wants to book a trip on Gen-Ren Sport Fishing down the East Cape, you're going to Palmas de Cortez, you're going to Rancho Leonero. Great operation there. 3 different boats that are all first-class operations. How do we get a hold of you? And we better make reservations, right?
Team Gen-Ren is our website. Just put Team Gen-Ren in your browser, and you'll get me, and you can email me, you can text me. My telephone number is there. I want to mention I do have a boat available for your tournament in June at Rancho Leonero.
Great.
I also have one available for your tournament at Palmas de Cortez in October.
Wow.
We have a boat for the Dorado Shootout at Palmas in July. We have a boat still available for the Keeping It Real tournament at the Palmas in June. And I also have a boat for the East Cape Bisbee.
Wow.
So it's a good time if you're thinking about fishing a tournament to get in on that.
Yeah, get in on it, teamgenren.com. And you'll be at Fred Hall, too, right?
Yes, I will. I'll be at Fred Hall. I'll be there
Long Beach?
all 5 days.
Right. Looking forward to it.
It's a fun tournament. It's a fun tournament. It's a fun show to exhibit at. So, yeah, we'll be there, and I hope to see a lot of our friends there.
Very good. All right, Mark, thanks a lot for the report, and we'll talk to you real soon. Happy New Year to you.
All right,
Happy New Year.
With that, it's time to find out what's biting in the Baja. It's time for our catch report with Cast Tours with the cast man, Richard Castanedo of Cast Tours today. Sponsored in part by Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Fisherman's Processing is San Diego's finest, and that's why they're known as the Fish Pros. And once you try them, you'll be hooked. They'll fillet and vacuum pack your fish, all to your specs, as well as offer the best in smoked fish, jerky, and the famous tuna burger. Check fishermansprocessing.com for more details, or you can see them when your trip returns to the San Diego Landing. Let's talk to the cast man, Richard Castanedo from Cast Tours. Buenos dias, cast man.
Buenos dias, Ricky. Hey, man, you just woke me up when you mentioned Fred Hall. I said, my God, that's right. It's just around the corner, and I think I better send my money in for my booth before Fred Hall, Bart Hall sends the collector to come find me. Man,
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Well,
Wow.
Heck, man, it's going to be what? How many years you've been at Fred Hall, Long Beach?
Oh, geez, what, 20? Well, we started Cast Tours in 91, so do the math. God, that's been a long time. I grew up
25 years there, cast man.
Yeah,
26 years.
I know it.
Yeah.
Never missed a year.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on with the report. Cabo San Lucas, striped marlin fishing seems to be pretty good down there. Not quite a 1 per boat per day release average, but most of the billfish, the striped marlin fishing has been around Cabo Falso at the drop-off there. They're drifting live baits and doing really well on the hookups there. Also in the mix, they're finding some porpoise with some tuna, nothing big. You know, most of the tuna have been in that 20 to 35-pound class. Dorado, a few Dorado around, still no great numbers, but I look this year. I do look to see for those Dorado to come in usually on that usually April-May time frame, and good throughout the year. We had some good showings up here toward the end of 2016. The Playa fleet basically is fishing when the wind's not blowing. They're able to get up into the Iman Bank and San Luis Banks and Vinorama in that area, and still holding some tuna there, drifting the cut squid, and doing okay on the tuna. That's going to start slowing down a little bit. You're going to see them start picking up some nice yellowtail down there because we're getting into the yellowtail season, and they get some nice big boys there. They'll get some 30, 40-pound fish there. The other hot action is, of course, this time of year is Ixtapas de Guantanejo, doing really well on the sailfish down there, fishing about 7 miles out of the harbor to about 13, 14 miles. A few blue marlin mixed in, but primarily sails. Some boats, 1, 2, 2 or 3 leases per day, and they're also getting a mixture of Dorado there and yellowfin tuna. But that's a report for this week. 2 good locations, Cabo and Ixtapas de Guantanejo. Just to let the listeners know, I've got 2 spots available on the Pesca Panama trip at the end of March, either a single angler or 2 anglers. And then our Christmas Island trip, the end of June, we have 4 spots left. And anybody who wants to join us can give me a call at 800-593-6510 or on the web at www.casttours.com. And look forward to speaking to you guys next Saturday.
Thanks, Cass, man. Appreciate that very much. Happy New Year to you, and we'll talk to you next Saturday.
Same to you, Pedro.
All right. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your fishing reports, more of your great phone calls. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
There's a new kid in town, and they are creating near miracles on boats all over the Southland. It's Blue Seas Fabrication, the West Coast's first and only certified sea deck fabricator and installer. Install sea deck EVA from non-skid decking materials on your boat, sport fisher, or yacht, and your boating experience is enhanced and improved. Why? Well, first, Sea Deck from Blue Seas Fabrication enriches the look of any boat, old or new. Next, the Sea Deck non-skid decking material adds comfort, convenience, safety, and value. The possibilities are endless. Let the experts from Blue Seas Fabrication show you how Sea Deck will make your life easier and better on every trip. Their professional staff will custom fit your deck, bridge, and interior with the stylish, non-absorbent, stain-resistant, and easy-to-clean material in multiple textures, designs, and colors. Sea Deck offers comfort and anti-fatigue properties for those long days of fishing. It can also be used on kayaks, boat trailers, and more. See for yourself. Check BlueSeasFabrication.com to see how Sea Deck can transform your watercraft and truly create a wow factor for the next time you head out. Call them at 858-232-4188 for more information and a free quote. Check BlueSeasFabrication.com and enhance your fishing experience.
Sport fishing, not just for Dad anymore. At Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, kids fish free every Sunday. Free half-day fishing trip and clinic free for kids 12 and under every Sunday at Dana Wharf. Join the Dana Wharf Kids Club and get over $100 of really cool stuff like 2 free fishing trips, a free whale watch trip, and more. Dana Wharf, everyone's favorite since 1971. Click DanaWharf.com or visit them in the Dana Point Harbor, the bass capital of the West, and only minutes from the 5 freeway in Orange County. DanaWharf.com, where kids fish free.
It's big, it's comfortable, and she is beautiful. The state-of-the-art long-range sport fishing vessel, the Independence. Veteran captains Mark Paisano and Paul Strasser built this incredible 112-foot vessel with the most modern technology and luxurious comfort available. Captain Jeff Dubois has helped make the Independence a top-notch operation. Call Independence Sport Fishing at 619-226-6006 or check the availability on spring, summer, and fall trips now at IndependenceSportFishing.com. Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Warmer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWarmerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Warmer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
The best coverage of the NFL playoffs and Super Bowl 51 is right here. Incredible! San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Indeed, we have Captain Brandon Hayward from the Bight Journal, one-man charters, talking fishing here, talking a great time. Speaking of fishing, I just found out we only have 4 spots left on our Katmai Lodge trip in July. And I also found out that this is pretty much it as far as offering their discounts because they've become super popular. Yeah. The deal we have with them, $39.95 for the 4-day trip, and plus your airfare, is over $500 off the normal price because they get discounted it for us by $450, which they don't discount anybody, but they did for our listeners, for our group of 12 basically, and also they raised their rates by 10%. So that means it's over $500 off this year. So this is going to be your last shot to really get a deal at Katmai
I'd say
Lodge.
over $500 off on a trip that's going to sell out regardless.
Yeah. So if you want to go to this magical place, the only way to describe Katmai Lodge is magical. You know, going to Brooks Falls to see, National Geographic right in front of you with the salmon and the brown bears and stuff like that, going and catching giant trout and salmon, and it's an amazing time of the year. Most popular time of the year by far is that mid-July time period, and you'll bring a lot of great sockeye salmon home, the red salmon, which is really highly desired. You want to go, this is your last chance to take a deal there and go with us in July. All the details are on our website, hookup1090.com. If you go to the website, go to the trips page. All of our trips for 2017 are listed. Jump on it with us. It's a good time.
No doubt. Well, the phones are getting packed up. If you want to get through, the best way right now would be with our local line. It's been a busy morning. That's 858 area code 457 1090. Toll free, totally packed up right now, but we do have a single line open on the local number 858 457 1090. Let's jump into the phones and talk to Jay. He's calling us from Lakeside this morning. Good morning, Jay. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning. Hey guys. I was wondering if I could get some recommendations on fishing Guadalupe in May. I'm doing a 6-day on the Shogun.
Nice.
And I went down there last September on the Royal Polaris, and I just got railed. I mean, I lost first 2 days, I didn't put anything in the hole. And, now that I'm more serious about fishing, I want to get a good setup. So I was hoping, instead of you talk to fishermen, you're going to get 1,000 different ideas. You talk to the sales guys, I don't want to listen to what they have to say. I want to talk to a couple of guys who really know what they're talking about. So can you give me some suggestions on what kind of rod and reel I should be taking down there?
Brandon?
Guadalupe in May? Well, you got to kind of audit yourself a little bit and think about, why were you losing these fish in the first place? And it wasn't the rod and reel, right?
No.
Straight up. So what was going on? Too light a line, so you need to kind of think about the range of tackle that you're using, and were you at the bottom end of it, so you never stood a chance to begin with? So,
yeah, I was at the bottom. I was at the bottom end of,
Okay.
So I went with it like a 10,000.
Get a bite, right?
Yeah.
That was the idea.
Sorry, you're asking me if I like cake. I'm telling you how to kind of bake one.
Yeah, I mean,
the Guadalupe outfit you want is that small, narrow 4/3/old school 500 size reel. So that's a Talica 12 type situation, and a 7-foot heavy rod with 65 or 80 pound braid on it, and then you can adjust your top shots accordingly. And I think no one's going to try to sell you or fleece you, no matter what tackle store you go to. I think everyone's going to tell you that's the outfit for that place. But you also have to keep in mind that May isn't the time period where you're going to go down there and hook 100-pound tuna traditionally, yellowfin. So the type of fishing that you're going to do in September is substantially different from May. It's just like a fall 8-day versus a spring 8-day are two totally different animals, right? Yeah. So you got to think about the trip that you're on, and just because you've booked the same length of days on the same boat doesn't mean you're going to have the same opportunities.
I can tell you that on my 6th day on the Shogun, the go-to deal for me was the Talica 16, 80-pound Power Pro, and a 60-pound Top Shot of
60.
Cigar.
See, I'm not a good person to speak to Guadalupe because I haven't been there in 10-plus years, and I remember if you were getting bid on 50, you were cheering then, right? It was like it was substantially scratchier.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, you had to get a bite. You know, the bait's, 3 inches long, 4 inches long. That was a little challenging.
Dealt a tough hand of cards this year.
Yeah. You know, you had to use smaller hooks. You know, it's just you had to be a little more stealthy about your approach. But once you get a bite, it was hard enough to get a bite. You don't want to lose them. That's the whole thing. If you start fishing 40, you're going to lose the fish if you're just a 100-pound fish, right?
You got white sharks. You got. I mean, is a 100-pound tuna catchable on 40-pound line? Of course it is. But you got so many other factors at play: anchor lines, other anglers, sharks. I mean, it's just heavy line and big hooks puts fish on the boat over everything else. Like it makes up for every other mistake and deficiency that there is. You know, the heavier line, bigger tackle that you hook one on, you get them. But as you just said, you got to get the bite too. I mean, it's a catch. You got to outweigh your options.
Right. But having a reel like Talica 16 that the fly line is very easy, you can cast it, you can hold it. That's so key. And
yo-yo with it if it's yellowtail in the afternoon, whatever.
Yeah. And then the other thing too is the rod. You got to have a rod that if you do hook one big enough, you guys know that you're not going to bottom that thing out. You can put it on the rail and you can turn the handle with it, right?
Right.
So that Therese
72 extra heavy.
72 extra heavy, XH, great rod. That was perfect. A lot of backbound. What, is it overkill for 60 pound? Absolutely, right? I mean, it's a 100-pound rod, but did it work? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, if you hook that big one, you had the power to turn the handle.
Single most ideal reel for landing a fish down there would probably be a Talica 20. The downside to a Talica 20 is it's from the 16 is a bigger reel, and that 16 fits in your hand so much nicer, and the spool weighs less, and when you're faced with smaller baits like we had, it's a little bit tougher to fly line. That 16 is still a small reel that has mega power. That's easy to turn the handle. It's high torque. It's and torque or power is a huge thing too. A lot of people will sell a reel based on the merit that you turn the handle real fast and kick it in a free spool, the spool will spin for 5 minutes. So that's not how a cast works. You need a lightweight spool. It doesn't take a lot of inertia to get the spool rolling. And what's way more important is the ease of turning the handle under a load than anything else. It helps you put the fish on the boat much easier.
No doubt about it. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right, how about next up we talk to Terry. He's calling us from San Diego this morning. Hi, Terry. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning there, guys. Want to wish you all a happy New Year and that. And Brent, when you go out with Brendan, you never know what you're going to get. So lobster fishing, we've gone lobster fishing at Wahoo, and we've had also a moray eel, and it's always exciting.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit there, but I know you had...
He was like every other word, but I got Wahoo.
Yeah.
And moray eel.
That's right, moray eel,
eels,
lest we forget.
Oh, those are always fun in the net, right?
Yeah.
I hate those things.
They kind of creep up on you because at first you're like, what? Oh, hey.
Oh, watch out. Don't stick your hand in there.
Terry was on probably what'll go down as like, I mean, that's always hard to say like the most, but one of the most memorable trips when there was that Wahoo around. We caught a Wahoo. We got hooked 4. We got a Wahoo in 190 feet of water off the east end of Catalina.
Crazy.
And that's when it was that just like bingo lobster fishing out in the deep water, where I've caught like almost nothing this year. So we got our 2-day limits of lobster, and then on the way home, he caught an 84 or 82 or whatever it was pound Wahoo on the back side of the 14.
Unreal.
Did he bring good rum too?
He's not. No. That's my only rule, Backside of the 14, 130-pound braid on a Talica 25 straight to wire, like in the prop wash, 80-something pound Wahoo. So that was really a special trip.
That's so rad.
Yeah.
That is so rad.
Hi, Terry.
Nice job, Terry.
Thanks a lot for the call. That does free up. 858-457-1090. Open right now.
Joe in San Diego, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. What's up, Joe?
Hey, how's it going, Rick?
Doing great. Good morning.
I just wanted to say Happy New Year to all you guys. You Pete, Ryan, Brandon, and I'd like to ask Brandon a question about local lobster fishing. And now that the new year's here for like January, February, March, what would he prefer? I mean, the bay, inshore, or offshore a little bit and deeper, or what would he prefer?
I can't talk to San Diego Bay because I haven't hooped there since I was in like college with a bud, you know. So everything I do is at Catalina. I used to do local like Oceanside area, but the last couple of years that hasn't been good. And just Catalina is such a treasure trove, and it's just the best, you know. Every time I try something different to try, it's like, what am I doing? Just go to Catalina, you know. So that would be my recommendation. If you really want to catch lobsters, Catalina is the place, and the grade is incredible. So that's all I can speak to. You guys can take the bay part, obviously.
One advantage to Catalina, like San Diego Bay, is it's not a commercially harvested fishery, right?
Right, exactly. Bays, harbors, the front side of Catalina, all of Santa Monica Bay, these are areas that are designated no commercial, you know. So anytime you can get in those areas and it's straight wreck, you obviously do better. So.
And at this point in the season, the commercial guides, let's face it, have caught 99% of the legal lobsters in the local zones.
Right.
That's what I was speaking to when you said, you know, whether I should go in the bay or outside the bay. I mean, it doesn't mean that you won't find area and you won't catch your lobsters. And I mean, everybody's got a spot or a rock pile that maybe hasn't been hit, or you hit it on a particularly good set of conditions where the lobsters are out crawling, and sure, you can make a catch. But just in general speaking, inside or outside the bay, San Diego Bay, if you're a San Diego guy, is one of those areas that's not commercially fished. And let's face it, most of the better areas have been, you know, had traps sitting on them since the beginning of the thing. And lobster traps are pretty effective. You know, I mean, they crawl in and they don't really crawl out for the most part, and they're fishing 24 hours a day. So you're just better off, I would think, if you're recreational, don't necessarily have a logbook full of these awesome spots to try, staying in that area that's not commercially fished. And
that's why the bays and the particular Santa Monica Bay.
Exactly.
The whole Santa Monica Bay area up there is wide open.
What I've found, and maybe this holds true for San Diego, is like as the season wears on, kind of the known areas, there's not a lot of secrets these days, right? So a lot of the like known areas at the island, I might have started there at the beginning of the season, but now I'm going to like spot fish a lot more, like small little patches of hard bottom the size of your car, like little stones or little things where you just like put one or two by that and collect what you can, and boom, 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 and that's how you piece together trips. Yeah.
All right. Very good. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right. Let's jump right back into the phones. This time we're going to talk to Gordon. He's calling us from Escondido. Gordon, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Rick, Pete, and Brandon. Just a note for that last caller. Best way to get lobster in San Diego Bay area is a place called Catalina Seafoods off of Moreno Boulevard.
Yeah, Catalina Offshore.
They're always holding.
Tommy Gomes. Go see Tommy.
Anyway, just want to put a word in. Brandon, I've been on 3 of his trips now, 2 of his boats, all of his captains. You're going to do well with any one of them. And the other thing is that as myself, if I'm usually by myself, and I've been impressed with the quality of the other fishermen that I fished with every single time. I don't know how, Brandon, how you attract that kind of people, but anybody that's by themselves, don't be afraid just to get on a trip with, there's an opening.
I appreciate that. Thanks. Yeah, I get good people, and straight up, if someone comes on the boat and they're just kind of like not respectful of the other anglers of the boat, it's only happened 2 or 3 times, but when you're drawing from a big pool, it's going to happen. They're just not coming back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The beauty of a one-man charter deal.
It's just how, you know. So, no, I draw from a really a good group of people for sure. A lot of long-range guys, you know what I mean? And my deal is I'm not looking to take the guy who has their own boat or all that other stuff. I mean, I will. But what the service I provide is someone who does not have a small boat, who wants to experience that style of fishing, and who's really willing to roll the dice and kind of fish for, like, difficult-to-catch fish. Lobsters, dare I say, easy. You're never going to go lobstering and not get them, you know? But if you go and all right, guys, we're going for 200-pound bluefin, all 3 guys are not going to catch one. Sea bass, you have your big bingo trips for limits or everyone gets one or whatever, but a lot of times, like, you're going to get one or you're going to miss or not catch something. So I'm real transparent about that at the beginning. And I found that the people who are attracted to my operation kind of know that going into it. So they're not like, oh, what do you mean I'm not going to catch limits, you know?
Yeah. We're not going to bail out and catch rockfish.
Right. And there's none of that. There's no, like, can we fish for bass? Like, you're going for it.
Yeah, you're catching lobster.
Yeah, you're catching lobster, and if you're fishing sea bass or you're on some sort of trip for whether it's that big bluefin or whatever, there's no like, okay, now it's not biting, let's go to the island and catch cod or something. You know, the combo thing works out good when you say this is the block we're going to do this, and this is the block we do this. But when you try to mix the two too much and lines start to get blurred, that's when you can kind of put yourself in a little bit of a corner. So.
No doubt.
So that's the program. But thanks for the call. Enjoyed having you out, and I'm glad that you've had good trips with James as well.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Garden. Appreciate the call this morning. Hey, I want to remind you, get your new 2017 Sport Fishing Tide calendar. Bill Varney did an excellent job, and they're available. Tackle stores everywhere have them. And 2 weeks from today, we'll be announcing the big CCA California drawing winner. Every third Saturday of every month, Let's Talk Hookup, we will be announcing the winner. Each calendar is numbered, and a lot of great prizes to give away, and all supporting CCA California. So get your calendar today. I have one up on my wall, and it's great knowing the tides and the good pictures in there, and then have a chance to win some great prizes.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including another full hour. We got catch reports, more phone calls, more great information. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Alaska is one of the ultimate fishing destinations in the world. This is Rock Cod Rick, and every year the one trip I look forward to is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. My dad and I have been going for over 15 years, and I just can't wait to go again. No one does it better than Kingfisher Charters. They offer the best service, the most comfortable accommodations, fantastic food, the finest fishing charter captains in all of Sitka, and the ultimate value. Sure, I've been to others, but time and time again, nobody beats Kingfisher Charters. You can catch huge halibut like the ones we do almost every year, and salmon, well, Sitka is famous for some of the best runs in Alaska. We also get plenty of rockfish and huge lingcod. And when it comes to fish processing, the best in Alaska is Kingfisher Charters. And listen to this, it's all included in your package. In fact, everything is included except the tips. It's truly amazing how the Kingfisher crew continues the quality of service they deliver year after year. Come and join me on the Let's Talk Hookup trip in June, or just go when you can. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check KingfisherCharters.com.
For decades, the Kona Kai has been considered San Diego's premier marina, resort, and spa. Now, with millions of dollars in upgrades, the Kona Kai Resort is a destination for travelers worldwide who can live it every day. The docks and services are the finest quality in San Diego, and the Kona Kai is the closest marina to the open ocean. As a marina tenant, you enjoy many benefits, including secured free parking, a deluxe health club, swimming pool, and more. Enjoy discounts at the restaurant, bar, and hotel. If you don't have a boat, there are memberships available at a very affordable price. The Kona Kai Club has been offering members a home away from home since 1953. Members can spend their days on Kona Kai's private beach, meet new people in the club's modern lounge, share a meal with family at Bessel Restaurant and Bar, or pamper themselves in Spa Terra. Check out ResortKonakai.com on the web for more information, to reserve a slip, or inquire about joining the club. The Kona Resort, like being on vacation every day in your own backyard.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
Rancho Leonero was awarded the Certificate of Excellence from TripAdvisor for 4 straight years. Especially interesting, most hotels are just hotels, and most people stay in the hotel and go do their activities elsewhere. Rancho Leonero, of course, provides fishing, diving, all activities, all meals, your whole vacation. So the fact that we're so highly rated, we're very proud of it. From picking you up at the airport to dropping you off, literally everything is turnkey from there. We make it as easy as we can for you at the ranch. From your meals to whether you're going to go fishing or diving or just hang out by the pool. When you're coming to Rancho Leonero, you are coming to John Ireland's home. I guarantee the best fishing vacation experience in all of Baja. It's unique. There's nowhere that I could think of to get the same experience that you get at Rancho Leonero. Our new reservation phone number is 800-646-2252, 646-BAJA, and RanchoLeonero.com. It's really unique. It is. We're very proud of it.
XERS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Aztecs.
Put that slam dunk. That's what I'm talking about.
San Diego's sports leader, the Mighty 1090.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
This is Pete Gray to tell you about one of my favorite places to fish in the world. It's Whalers Cove Lodge in Angoon, Alaska. For several years now, we've been hosting groups at Whalers Cove, and this is certainly one trip I do not miss. Each year, the Powers family makes great improvements to the lodge that make this great lodge even better. New rooms, new boats, new fish processing facilities, new outdoor kitchen. The list goes on and on. As for fishing, the calm waters around Whalers Cove are 100 miles from any large town, so you will enjoy wilderness adventure without the crowds. Whalers Cove Lodge has some of the best salt and freshwater fishing in Alaska, and there's no need for a bumpy boat ride for hours. You can find productive fishing for salmon, halibut, and rockfish just 10 minutes from the lodge. Here's the deal. The word is out on Whalers Cove, so you want to go? Book soon. WhalersCoveLodge.com or call 800-423-3123. WhalersCoveLodge.com for the Alaska fishing experience of a lifetime. This time of year, the fishing offshore is hit and miss. Some days you struggle, the other days you come home with your limit of yellowfin. Believe me, you never know. But unlike the unpredictability of fishing, you can always count on Ford F-Series pickups. America's best-selling trucks, 39 years and counting. One reason F-150 is so popular with fishermen is the high-strength military-grade aluminum body panels. Chevy, Dodge, and Toyota bodies will all eventually rust, but not F-150. Its body panels won't rust ever. That's pretty important for folks like us that launch boats on a regular basis. And F-150's revolutionary body is bolted to a solid steel frame to make it stronger, more capable, and more efficient than ever. When it comes to trucks, fishermen and fisherwomen can always rely on Ford. And right now is a great time to buy. Special incentives have just been announced. That means bigger savings and lower payments on F-150. Log on to their new website, buyfordnow.com, for all the details. That's buyfordnow.com. Then stop by your nearest San Diego County Ford dealer. They'll be glad to hook you up.